where they can get help to do this rebuilding. We spoke to Mr. Pelumi Olatinipo, who's a poet and also a TV personality who has his own program. We also spoke to Dr. Kole Odutula, who's a professor somewhere in Florida. So these gentlemen helped talk about the elections in the United States, which we're going to have on Tuesday. We'll talk about that later as we go. But I'm just going to tell you about what the question of the day was, and most of you have responded on Twitter, we've responded on Facebook, and we had some of you on Skype. The question was, what would a hurricane like this be like if it hit Lagos? And you have Hammer Isaiah. This one said that would be the end, because millions would just die and life goes on for the government. Alarming for real. Said, may God forbid, but every will be remain in the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. That was obviously powerful words that people are hoping that this doesn't be an occurrence there. Alicat 40s said, funnily enough, we would survive. We live and thrive in continuous disaster and are oblivious to it. We are hardened by hardships. That line is very powerful too, because they're basically referring to the flooding and the continuous corruption in the country as the hardships, you know. So they're saying that it would never make a difference, that Hurricane Sandy would put them in a different situation because they are living in hardships. We had a bonus question. What can Nigeria learn from the way government officials in the U.S. responded to Hurricane Sandy? Daniel said, Nigerian government officials can't learn anything from the U.S. government officials because ours, meaning the Nigerian, and their values, meaning the Americans, are very different. The U.S. government officials want to save lives, while the Nigerian government officials just want to make money. And money is actually put in capitals to express, to be more explicit of what he's trying to put across, that the Nigerian government are trying to make money. And he's talking about the corruption. And he also goes to say they can't learn anything simply because the American government and the Nigerian government officials share several things in common, like, for instance, ignoring the professionals when they are warned against disasters such as these, and ways by which they can be managed, as suggested. Tario Way Edmund S. Byrne says, after all, I don't really see how well the American government has handled the situation better than the Nigerians' counterparts, because as at yesterday, some individuals were still trapped in their homes and they are gradually running low on necessities. And I think they're referring to the slow response time after the hurricane hit during the course of this week, and at the time which FEMA responded with giving aid, which was only yesterday. Toyin also said, Nigerian officials responded very well in our own cases. They had been wonderful. In fact, the Americans should learn from us. Brown Patha also says, other countries don't matter. Thought it hit more than 2 countries. Must we learn only from the U.S.? Nah. Why or buy drones now? Okay, why do you buy drones? I think that's my interpretation of the Creole. Okay, and then we have some statements here regarding the U.S. elections, and Ifra Klein would say, it came to break history and restore normalcy in a troubled economy. I think he's done that. It's not time to leave. And this is in reference to President Barack Obama. I think the question should have been, do you think he deserves another term? So that was his contribution there. And one person says, I want Romney to win. Obama is dealt poorly to America. He's being selfish. Thumbs up for Romney and down, down Obama. That's a very powerful statement somebody is suggesting there. And somebody else says, Hunter of Destiny, and what's so wrong with creating 170,000 jobs monthly? There is no science in the world that supports magical recovery. Naijama says, the middle relative to what? How much more in the middle can Obama be when the progressive left is already mad at him? In response to a comment, this was in response to a comment to one of our guests, Mr. Pelumi Olanipo, stating that Obama might move towards the Republicans should he win the elections. Anyway, Sahara TV is going to be live. This is going to be from 5 o'clock p.m. That's New York time, and to 12 midnight on election day, which will be Tuesday, November the 6th. And we're going to have our lines open. We're going to have our televisions on, our cameras. We're going to take a lot of Skype calls. We want to hear from you through Facebook, through Twitter, and also through telephone calls. So if you want to participate, please remember to get in touch with us on our social network, which is Twitter, which is Facebook, with, Sahara Reporters, and also on Skype. So please stay tuned, and we're going to put more information on our social network on how you can participate. But in the meantime, we want to leave you and love you, and also remember those that lost their lives in the tragedy after Hurricane Sandy in the United States. So we'll see you on Tuesday. Thank you. My name is Fungai Maboreke.
If you're not informed,
If you don't know where you come from, you will never find where you're going.
When Nigeria is working, we will all know.
PDP and us are diametrically opposed.
Sahara TV, let them be the TV, the best TV, information, education, inspiration.